Hey everybody, welcome back to Karen's English class. I am Karen and let's talk grammar. Grammar point I want to talk about today is future perfect versus future perfect progressive. So if you are struggling with these two grammar points, stick around and we'll do a little practice. Alright, let's start with future perfect. So when we use future perfect, we imagine ourselves at some point in the future looking back at what we have already accomplished by that time. In this grammar point or this grammar tense, the focus is on completed action. What will you have done by a certain date? And the form is subject plus will, if it's negative, will not, plus have plus past participle. And if you remember the past participle, that is like the third form of the verb. When you were, memorizing those verbs, drink, drank, drunk, it's that third form. That's past participle. For regular verbs, it's just ed. It's just the irregular verbs you might have to worry about. All right, and we can also form a question starting with will plus subject plus have plus past participle. And we use by plus time plus a time expression to identify the point of time in the future, like by 2030, by 2050, for example. And it's common to use already or yet to talk about things that will have happened by that point in time. So if we're thinking about, for example, 2040, think about your own life and your own goals. What will you have accomplished by 2040? That is how we use future perfect. And let's look at some examples. For example, by 2029, he will have gotten his associate's degree. So he's imagining future point in time, 2029, imagining what he will have accomplished by that point in time. By 2050, the U.S. will have switched to clean power. We can make a question, for example, will Rob have graduated from high school by 2028? Negative, I will not have saved enough money by March to go on a nice vacation. So this picture is not me. I will not be there in March. But remember, with this grammar point, the emphasis is on completed action. What will you have accomplished? What will you have finished by a certain point of time in the future? Now the other grammar point, future perfect progressive, if you studied British English, future perfect continuous, same thing, just two different names. Whenever we use the progressive tense, we're talking about duration of time. So when we use future perfect progressive, we imagine ourselves sometime in the future, also looking back on things, not things we have accomplished, but things that are in progress over a duration of time. And the emphasis here is on how long someone will have been doing something by a future point in time. And the form is subject plus will or will not plus have been plus verb ing. Now, again, if you studied British English, have been, American English, have been. We can form a question with will plus subject plus have been plus verb ing. And just a quick reminder, whenever we deal with the progressive, typically we don't use non-action verbs in the progressive tense, also called stative verbs. All right, let's take a look at some examples. For example, by 2030, so imagining yourself at a future point in time, but thinking about how long you will have been doing something. So by 2030, he will have been taking classes, college classes, for 4 years. So he's imagining how long he will have been doing something by a future point in time. And next example, Sandra will have been commuting to work in Phoenix for 4 years by December. So by December, she will have been doing this for 4 years. Lisa moved here in 2010. By 2040, she will have been living here for 30 years. And remember, with this grammar point, the emphasis is on duration of time or how long you will have been doing something by a future point in time. All right, let's do a very quick practice. So please answer each question below with a complete sentence. Number 1, What will you have accomplished or achieved by 2035? So imagine yourself thinking ahead. The year is 2035. What have you achieved or accomplished? Complete sentence. Use that grammar point for me. Do I want future perfect or future perfect progressive here? Now, because we have the verb accomplished, that's finished action, which means we want future perfect. So think about an answer for this one. Number 2, how long will you have been studying English by 2030? So again, future point in time. Now this one focuses on how long. This is duration. So this is future perfect progressive. So think of an answer for that one. And number 3 question, will you have finished your studies by 2032? Again, finished, so we're dealing with completed action here, so we want future perfect. All right, do you have an answer for each of these? All right, here's some example answers. Number 1, question was, what will you have accomplished by 2035? Example answer, I will have graduated from college and gotten my dream job by 2035. Note, when you have 2 verbs, you don't have to repeat have twice. So we have graduated and gotten, but we only need to use have once. I will have graduated and gotten. Number 2, this one, remember we want future perfect to talk about duration, how long you will have been doing something. So by 2030, I will have been studying English for 10 years. And again, will have been studying. Note, you can put time phrases at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. You can say by 2030, blah, 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 or I will have been studying English for 10 years by 2030. So it can go at the beginning or the end. Please note, if we put it at the beginning, we need a comma. If we put it at the end, no comma. Number 3, that was a question. Yes, I will have finished my studies by 2032. All right, that is a very brief overview of future perfect and future perfect progressive. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you and have a great day.